Good morning. It is an honor to speak this morning. This is the first National Prayer Breakfast of the Rogers administration. And again, it's an honor to be here this morning. President Eisenhower spoke about the presidency. He mentioned that the presidency is a very lonely job. And he complained, or maybe not so much complained, but talked about the isolation that being president and living in the White House, what that does to one. Uh, and he he reached out, or actually Congress at the time, the congressman reached out to the president and invited him to come up to Capitol Hill to be part of a prayer group. This group of congressmen got together, and it was just a unique time to have breakfast. Uh, a social event, a time to get together and to socialize in a non-partisan way. Um, and that's where the origins of this prayer breakfast actually that's where it actually started many years ago. And that's what's unique about these events that we do have. So many times in the course of the year, uh, we're on different sides of the fence. Uh, you got the guys on the left, the guys on the right, and we're all pushing our agendas. This prayer breakfast this morning gives us the opportunity to come together as one and to come together as partners. And I would like to say that the prayer breakfast has gone from being a group of congressmen to now being a group of congressmen and women. And it's good to see that addition take place. Prayer groups are very powerful groups. I remember back a few years ago, just getting involved in my church back in Arlington, Texas. Um, didn't really know a lot of people at the church, um, but there was a group of men who met on a weekly basis, and it was a breakfast every week that we got together, and it was to talk about how everybody's doing, um, um, maybe whatever problems we may be having or whatever, just a time for some fellowship. That breakfast also included time for Bible study. And again, I believe that's a very important part of what takes place here at the National Prayer Breakfast. You think about it. You think about all the issues that Congress and the president face in the course of a year, and we're constantly at it. Uh, we're out every day talking about items on our agendas. We got talking points, and sometimes they're talking points that are opposed to the other side. And I wouldn't so much say they're divisive, but they're not a unified message. It's events like today that we get to come together as one and have that fellowship and that camaraderie. And you know what comes out of this is a better understanding of the men and women uh, who are the leaders of this great nation of ours. And out of these prayer breakfasts, they actually forge friendships that may not have ever taken place had it not been for this event. Out of this prayer breakfast this morning, there may become a friendship that 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 may be utilized going forward when you want to work together to pass a bill or anything, um, any kind of congressional um, action. Uh, you think about, oh, how about if I spoke to, yeah, the congressman I spoke to back at the prayer breakfast, give him a call, and if it's not for this single event, you may not have spoken to this congressman or women now, and understand where their viewpoints are and get support. I mean, these these breakfasts, I think, are so important to what we do as leaders. Um, and again, like President Eisenhower said, the presidency is a very lonely position. When you're down the other side of 16 or down the other side of Pennsylvania Avenue, and you're inside the White House, it does feel very isolated. Uh, and so, again, it's events like today that make networking, uh, that make friendship um, totally totally possible. And out of this friendship, out of this networking, becomes a unique bond that we can all work together for the good, for the good of the American people. And that's why we're actually here. We are servants of the American people. The men and women in our nation's capital were elected by their peers to come to the city to do the work of the American people. And so events like this forge those friendships, forge those relationships, so that the things, the items, the agendas that brought people to Washington in the first place can be pursued. Again, I do thank you very much, and looking forward to working uh, with Congress this year on a great agenda as we continue, as I often say, the journey of America. Thank you all very much.